Welcome to Chef Chomzy Quality Kitchen. It is a place for quality food. When you eat good, you stay healthy. Today's edition, we are bringing to you too many dishes that our guests here will witness today. So we'll appreciate if you sit back and watch it while it lasts. Okay, now I welcome you into today's edition. For today's edition, we shall be preparing our spaghetti. As you can see, we have a pack of spaghetti here, and we have our fresh tomatoes. We are going to be using little of our tin tomatoes. We don't need much of it. So, and also we have other of our ingredients. We have our green peas, we have our bell peppers, we have our onions, our carrots. As you can also see, we have our peppers, our garlic, and also our ginger. And we also have our green beans there. We also have other of our secret recipes that we're going to be using in today's edition. So now we're going to begin with our chicken. As you can see, we don't really need much of it. So we have our chicken, so the chicken is going straight to the pot for a proper seasoning. So we are going to be seasoning with our Maggi cube, just little of it because we don't want it too sweet. So we have our curry powder, but I prefer using a curry masala because it has other ingredients, so I don't need to go get maybe thyme or every other thing. So because all of them are already added in here, so I'm going to be taking little of it because I like the flavor of the curry. So we have our salt. And also there is also another recipe, another ingredient, which is rosemary. I like using rosemary when cooking my meat. So for the chicken, we are going to steam a little. We are not going to allow it done totally in the pot. We are going to steam. After steaming, we'll now move it to the oven. That's all. Okay, now we need to stir our chicken and see if it's okay to bring down. Okay, this is the chicken, as you can see. The aroma is very nice. If you are not here, you are really missing. So we need to let the chicken boil for some time. Now this is our water. We are going to steam our spaghetti. We are not cooking it already, but we need to allow the water to come to a boil before we can introduce our spaghetti into it for it to steam a little. Then we'll sieve and then. Okay, so we need to check our chicken again to see if it's done. Right now, I'm going to bring the chicken down. Yes, I'm going to bring it down. Then I'll introduce it to the frying pan to fry it a little. Then I'll move it down to the oven. Okay, we are done with this. Then we need to put our frying pan and add a little oil to it. Just a little oil. You don't need much of it. There is our oil. So just make a little because we want to get that brown color from the chicken. So I think this is enough. Don't forget that we're still waiting for our water to come to a boil for our spaghetti. Need to allow the oil to heat a little for continuing. So the stock from the chicken is what we are going to be using to prepare our spaghetti. So don't think that we're going to waste the stock, no, because the stock, we spiced it very well. We are going to introduce the chicken, the oil, just a little while to get the brown color. So we are going to reduce the gas. We need to reduce it so that the oil doesn't splash. So we're going to just fry it maybe for about 2-3 minutes. Then we'll bring it and return it back to the oven. So as it is now, we are going to put our oven. We're going to on our oven. Okay, now we're going to continue with the sauce for the spaghetti because we are making jollof spaghetti and not white. So I'm going to be using the same oil I used for my chicken, so that's the oil I'm going to use. So we already blended our tomatoes. We have our tomatoes here, tomatoes, onions, garlic, ginger together, and also pepper is already inside. So, okay, before I add this, because I do not want this to have this sweet and sour taste in the mouth, I'm going to introduce a little of the tin tomato first. I'm going to fry it a little. So it doesn't have that sweet and sour taste. You know that sweet that comes when the sweetening you inside is slapping you to that side. So we allow it to fry a little. We don't need too much of it because we have enough of the tatashi already. So we need to increase our gas. You know, we reduced it because of the chicken, so just to increase a little. Okay, we already have this done, so we're going to introduce our tomatoes to it. So once we introduce our tomato, we're going to sieve our spaghetti is ready, so we don't want it to cook 100%, so we need to remove and use cold water and so it will stop cooking. So as it is, I'm going to put off the gas. So as we wait for this, we are going to leave this for the tomatoes to dry, for hot water to cool down before we can use it. So for me, I'm not going to spice it yet, so I will allow it to come down, for the water to go down first. So we're done with this. So I'm going to cover it for some time before I will now leave it for. So we need to go back to our spaghetti to go and sieve out the water. Okay, now we're going to check if our tomato is dry. Oh, as you can see, it's very dry. I did not spice the tomatoes. I'm going to do all my spicing in the pot. So I'm going to remove this from the fire so I can introduce my pot for the spaghetti. I'll have to place it here first. Then I just need a little water because I didn't allow the spag to cook properly, so I need just a little water for this. So inside this little water, I'm going to introduce my tomatoes. I'm not going to use all because it's really much, because the spag is not that much. So I'm going to stir and know if it's up to what I want, because I want it to be very spicy. I want the color to come out very well. So I'm going to add more of the tomatoes. So I'm going to leave it like this, but there will still be room for adjustments. I can still adjust my tomatoes if they are beneath for it. So I'm going to spice the water now with my bouillon cube. But my bouillon cube, I had to, you understand, I had to visit it because I'm not advertising any company. Okay, I think this is enough. So I'm going to introduce a little of my curry masala. Okay, a little more. That's enough. So I have my salt with me. Please be careful when adding your salt. You need to be testing to know if you need to adjust or. So I need to give it a good stir. Don't forget that the ginger, garlic, and every other thing was added to the tomato, so I don't need to add more to it. So I need to know if the salt is okay or I need to adjust any of them. Okay, it's very okay. So I'll now leave it to come to a boil. Okay, before I do that, this is our stock from the chicken that we prepare. So we're going to be adding it to our spaghetti. So I'll allow it to come to a boil before I can add the spaghetti. You know the spaghetti has not much weight again, so it won't be taking too much, and that's why I need to allow it to come to a boil before I can introduce the spaghetti in. Okay, now we're going to check our water. This is the sauce for our spaghetti to know if it has come to a boil. So as you can see, it's already boiling. So we need to introduce our spaghetti to it. Don't forget that you can still do your own way, the way you understand it. But this is my own way. This is how I like doing it. So I'm going to stir it very well. Don't forget we only steamed the spaghetti earlier, so because we don't want it too soft, so I have to reduce the water very well. Just this water should be enough for this. So when you stir it very well, make sure you stir it very well so you don't end up having half white, half stew. Okay, now this is okay, this is cool. We're done stirring, so we got to cover it and allow it to cook properly the way we want it to. So we're not going to be adding more water to it. This water is already enough for it. Just allow it to cook. So, done. Okay, now we need to go through our stack again and see if it's ready. As you can see, it's almost ready. We just have little water. You can see the color, very nice. So just have little water, and because of that little water, so we need to introduce our vegetables. We're not going to be needing too much of it. So I'll first of all add my carrot because carrot has more weight than others. And this is okay. So I'll keep it. But you can also choose to fry yours. Some do fry theirs, but I choose to go this way. So after incorporating the carrot with the spark, then I'll introduce my green peas. So I have my green peas. Because I want it looking very rich as I'm introducing all this. So this is my green beans. So I will need to stir it before I introduce my bell pepper. So after mixing it properly, so I'm going to be introducing my bell peppers to it. Because I don't want it to cook longer than this, so I'll need to quickly introduce the bell pepper. So I have my red bell pepper. And I have my green bell pepper. And that is all. We're done with whatever we're adding to this. So we need to cover it and allow the vegetables to steam a little while we shake our chicken. So we need to check our chicken and see if it's ready. Ooh. Yeah, I think our chicken is very much ready. Very much ready. So we need to bring it out from the oven. So I got to pull the oven off. Okay, now this is ready. We are going to put it down. and wait for the plating. As you can see, it's looking very yummy. Let me have a taste. This is perfect. Okay, we've got to put off our gas and we are done with this session. Thank you. Okay, thank you for watching us. I still remain my humble self and your best plug, Chef Chumsy Quality Kitchen. Please, for more details and for more information, you can follow us on Facebook at Chumsy Quality Kitchen, or you can also follow us on our Instagram page at Chef Chumsy Quality Kitchen. You can also follow us on TikTok at Chumsy TV and also on our YouTube page at Chef Chumsy TV. Ciao, ciao. See you next time on our next episode.